Hey guys, how are you? Well, in this video, I want to address the subject of mental health issues and living in your car. A couple nights ago, on one of my live feeds, a viewer had brought it up. Every night on this YouTube channel, I go live. And in my live stream session, there was a comment in the live chat that said, Sam, I've noticed that watching other people that are on YouTube that live in their car and make videos, they appear that they may have mental health issues or mental problems. And I said, well, that certainly could be the case because I've worked with the homeless. When I was back in New Jersey and New York, I worked with different nonprofit organizations. And I did find that a big percentage of people who are homeless had either mental issues or addiction problems. But also through my life experience, because I've owned a house for 15 years, I've spent time in all different types of neighborhoods, poor, middle class, upper class. What I found is many people have mental issues. Anxiety is a mental issue. Depression is a mental issue. Worry. To have a mind that constantly worries, that's a mental problem. Yeah. And we all face mental and physical issues. If you get a cold, a common cold, or the flu or stomach virus, that's a physical issue. If you worry, if you have anxiety, if you have light depression, that's a mental issue. So the question is not, do people that live in their car have mental issues? The question, or the answer is, people that live in their house and apartment have mental issues too. You know, there's levels of severity, but I know people right now collecting disability that live in an apartment that are on disability for mental issues. I know more people that live in the suburbs, that live in apartments, that live all over the country. They live indoors, in a house, in a permanent fixed dwellings, and they have mental issues. They're taking prescription pills for those mental issues. And being that less than 1% of society is homeless, we can with certainty say more people have mental illness that live in a house or apartment than live in a car, sheerly by the numbers. So, with that being said, do I think people that live in their car have mental issues, or the homeless in general? There's some percentage of them, yes, I would say, but I would also say there's a big percentage of people, again, that are taking Xanax or whatever, that live in a house or apartment, that even are functioning people with mental problems. They have jobs, they go to school, so I think mental health, as we grow as a society, everyone's plagued with it a little bit. Some people have more severe issues than others, no question. But I think if you're going to live in your car or van full time, I think, it takes a level of mental sharpness to adapt. If you're going to do it well. I mean, if you're just going to, violate the law and, get in trouble, you're not going to last long anyway. I mean, if you're going to park in front of people's houses and, you're throwing garbage out the side of your car. But I know people that have had the cops called to their house for a domestic dispute because their neighbors said they're not keeping their lawn up to maintenance. So I know plenty of people that get into trouble in houses and apartments that have the cops called to their house. So I want to address mental issues and living in your car, being homeless versus living in an apartment or living in a house or even being very wealthy. Mental health and mental issues, whether it's anxiety, depression, or more severe than that, they plague everyone at different severity levels. And, just because, there's more of a spotlight on people who are homeless because or people living out of their car or van or RV because it's a rare thing in society. Less than 1% of society is considered homeless, even if they live in their car, van, or RV. If they don't own property or rent property, if they just travel around their car, that's what they're considered. The spotlight's on them, but the spotlight's not on people who live in their apartment right now who are popping prescription pills watching this video. Is there anything wrong with taking pills or getting mental health? No, there's nothing wrong with that, but I'm making the point. I'm making the issue that just because you live in your car and just because you worry and just because you have depression and anxiety sometimes, it doesn't make you abnormal. It actually makes you normal. If you're always positive and if you never struggle with worry, anxiety, or depression, I mean, there's something wrong with you because you're not human, okay? You're a robot, okay? But obviously, again, I want to be clear. There's some people that have severe issues that they need to seek help and get help, but a lot of help is going to be taking care of yourself well, and some people don't have the capacity to take care of themselves well. I understand that too. But I don't think that there is an abnormal, or I don't think there's necessarily parallel tie that can be say, well, because you live in your car, because many people live in their car, there's a mental problem. And I don't think you should shame people that are odd. Again, now if what they're doing is hurting someone, if they have mental problems and they're packing guns and they're hurting people and everything, I mean, then there's issues there. But look, if they're just living their life and if they're abiding by the laws, let them do them. Because chances are, you got mental issues. I said everyone has a little bit of worry and anxiety. No one goes through this life unscathed. But I wanted to address that. I think mental health is always a good conversation. I think as I make this video, it's the new year. Everyone joins the gym. Everybody wants to get in physical shape. Where's the focus on mental health? Are you getting in mental health shape? How do you get in mental health shape? You watch the food you eat, because your physical health does play a part in your mental health. You exercise daily. You don't allow relationships in your life that aren't good for your mental health. I believe minimalism helps mental health, and maybe more things than that depending on your situation. But you got to take action, and you got to take care of yourself, and you got to stop playing the game. And you're never going to figure out what's in someone else's mind. So at the end of the day, don't worry about what someone else is doing. If they're not hurting you, let them do them. Even if you may disagree with it. If they're not hurting anyone, let them do them. And so that's how I feel regarding people with mental issues and the homeless and living in their car and society. People living in their apartments, houses, and they're not happy with life. They're mentally struggling. Yeah. So I think live your best life, whether it's living in a car, van, or RV. If that makes you happy and you're not hurting anyone, do that. And be odd. Upload videos about it. Peace and love.